What in the absolute hell just happened? In NFL defense, giving up 40 points is brutal, 50 is shocking, 60 is literal insanity, but 70? Mind-melting, multiverse of madness, unbelievable. On Sunday, September 24, 2023, that is exactly what Sean Payton and his defense gave up to the Dolphins. It was embarrassing. Their players literally gave up. The Fins set a record with 726 total yards. They were the second team ever with 300 rushing and 300 passing yards. For this, we need a deep dive into the film to find out exactly what happened, because I have never in all my years seen anything like this before. To sum up this absolute day of reckoning, we can put the Broncos' struggles into two separate categories. First, they exhibited a complete misunderstanding of the Dolphins' core concepts and offensive philosophy. And second, the Dolphins used one run call that destroyed them for an entire 60 minutes. We'll start with how the Broncos staff completely ignored the Dolphins' philosophy, and that's attacking over the middle on quick inbreakers. Here you can see this chart from Next Gen Stats, where each green dot shows Tua's completions. By the way, he was 23 of 26 on the day for 4 touchdowns. Hey guys, they throw over the middle a lot. Their offense is completely predicated on quick hitting passes over the middle that are all based on timing. If they're thrown off for even a split second, it could ruin an entire play, so you need to disrupt that timing in any way possible. That means pressing them at the line with your hands, get in their face, throw that timing off so that Tua has to double clutch it, make him uncomfortable, throw off his rhythm. Well, the Broncos did the worst job of that imaginable. If you give Tyreek Hill a running start and don't get hands on him the entire play, there is nobody on this globe who can stop him. By just backpedaling both their defenders at the snap with their hips flipped towards the end zone, they're putting their guys in a no-win situation. The Dolphins don't even want to beat you deep, but both defenders are in a position where they have to defend deep and both receivers are wide the hell open. This historic day could have been even worse for Denver because Jalen Waddle was injured. So luckily for them, they could just use a single defender to man up the backside and push literally 3 defenders towards Tyreek, who still finished with 157 yards. You have to get hands on him to slow down his speed. They don't. And sure, I'd be terrified of his speed too, but look at the cushion the 2 safeties give him. You're not worried about him running a post here, that's just not Tua's game. And if he runs a crosser, even if Kareem Jackson meets him at the hash and he keeps running horizontally, Kareem could just flip his hips easily with all that space. This is what the Dolphins do. This is a concept they run all the time, and this is where they want to attack the field. But it's like the Broncos staff didn't watch a single second of their film, a single cut-up, nothing. As you saw in the chart, they threw anything and everything over the middle whenever and however they wanted. The defense had a couple little wrinkles up their sleeve to try and throw Tua off. This is a nifty simulated pressure called Bears 1 Rat, where basically you try and get the offensive line to fan out to block the defensive ends, but then you drop them into coverage and blitz a linebacker up the middle. Well, it doesn't work, because Tua has one of the fastest times to throw in the league. And now, guess what? You have 2 defensive ends guarding freaking Tyreek Hill. The game plan was ridiculously bad, where there was just no chance for their defense to succeed. And even if the right idea was there to stop what Miami was trying to do on a given play, the attention to detail and execution was awful. On this touchdown to Tyreek, the Broncos actually do have a plan in place to stop one of their core concepts, drift, which is play action with a quick inbreaker over the middle, a concept we've talked about a ton. They're playing quarter, half, so that the quarter safety can cut the drift route. So that is good, but watch Kareem Jackson, who had an all-time awful game. He's playing a deep half, but disappears faster than Skip Bayless's ratings, and Tyreek doesn't have anybody within 30 yards of him. This is on Jackson for dropping so freaking deep, but also shows just how terrified defenses are of Tyreek's vertical speed. While it's on Jackson, it's also on the defensive line for not getting any pressure after the play action. Tua shouldn't have this long to throw, and no defense can cover for this long too. But there is a reason the line was so bad at getting pressure, Our second category, all the mayhem the Dolphins caused from the one run play they ran over and over. But before we dive into that, I first want to shout out this season's sponsor, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a daily sports app that is a ton of fun. You can pick any player, any sport. They've got something cooking every single day of the week. If you know what's going to happen in your favorite sport, you can win big money. The way it works is PrizePicks gives you a projection number where you can predict if the player will go higher or lower. You choose 2 to 6 players and select whether or not they beat that projection. I'll take the over on Tua's passing yards. McDaniel is officially McJesus. And I'll very begrudgingly take the over on Fields' passing projection because he's hit more than 200 yards twice. PrizePicks has the cleanest, easiest interface. You can withdraw your money super quick. You can play super quick. If you want to get started and get free money, use my promo code Rollins and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. That's promo code Rollins. We'll now dive into our second category, the one-run concept that the Dolphins ran on repeat to the tune of 350 rushing yards. But we have to preface it by taking a quick overview of all the chaos the Dolphins create with backfield motion. They are third in the league with a crazy 76% motion rate, and the Broncos' heads were literally spinning trying to sort out everything the entire day. This caused their defensive line to struggle reading play action or run. We just saw that in the Tyreek touchdown where they couldn't generate any pressure. And the motion also inhibited the second-level linebackers who got stuck in molasses because they were busy trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I mean, just look at Alex Singleton here. He has no idea what on earth is happening. He's back on his heels, he's slow, he sees the motion, he sees the tight end come across. You can't play linebacker like this. And this level of confusion caused by the Dolphins scheme helped them run the same concept on repeat and rip off huge gain after huge gain. The concept they kept running is called crack toss, which refers to a toss to the outside to the running back, and crack tells a receiver, or here a tight end, to line up close to the line of scrimmage and block the defensive end so the offense can pull a lineman out in front. It's all about leaving defensive linemen bunched in the middle and getting offensive linemen downfield to make blocks, which is way easier said than done, but helped Miami dominate the game. Since tight end Julian Hill can crack Jonathan Cooper, that frees Teron Armstead to pull to the second level. With Connor Williams being fast enough to cut off the second level linebacker, Armstead comes around for the safety, and there's no extra defender there for the ball carrier, as there needs to always be to defend the run. Miami was able to use motion to get more hats to one side of the field and make sure they always had numbers, and the Broncos lacked any ability to adjust in-game to force them to do something else. With a wide receiver a little off the screen, Jonathan Cooper needs to feel the crack block coming since it's been happening all day long, but he simply doesn't, which shows a lack of in-game awareness and a lack of coaching. This allows Devon Achane to cut back inside without any pursuit. You can see the hole, and led to his 203-yard rushing explosion. We can also see how when Durham Smythe motions over to give the Dolphins another blocker to the play side of the run, there is almost no adjustment made by Singleton. This allows Connor Williams to again cut him off since he's tucked so far inside, and gives the Dolphins 2 blockers for 2 defenders, where you will never be able to win in defensive football. The motion was dizzying for the Broncos. They never got a beat on what was happening, and Mike McDaniel was able to dress up these crack toss runs with motion a ton of different ways. Even just this return motion, watch what it does to Josie Jewell. He starts a little inside of Armstead's arm, then when he sees the motion, he rightfully bumps over. Braxton Berrios goes back, so when the play starts, Jewell is just about a half gap away from where he started, which is all Isaiah Wynn needs to reach him and cut off that backside penetration. This was a beatdown of epic proportions, and the Broncos had one of the worst game plans I've honestly ever seen. But as I did a few weeks ago, we need to also give Mike McDaniel his flowers, cause goddamn is he good. He invented a new concept off of an old concept. He switched up Spider 2Y Banana, where he had Tua literally flipping what looks like no-look passes for 2 different touchdowns. What does Spider 2Y Banana mean? Well, Spider 2 is the protection, which is a full slide protection. SP in Spider is slide protection, and Y Banana is less consequential, where the tight end runs a banana route, basically a corner. The real key to the play is the fullback running to the flat, where cuz the line slides away from the end, he thinks the fullback is coming to kick him out, the fullback bluffs him, The running back cut blocks him, and the fullback runs free to the flat. Because it looks so much like a run with the fullback flying a million miles an hour at him, it's an extremely effective way to pick up a couple of yards on short yardage like 3rd and 2. Every team in the league runs this, and so does McDaniel, but he also innovates off of it. Here's the fullback Alec Ingold running to the flat. You can see the line slide all the way to the other side here opposite Ingold, but now instead of A-Chain cutting Randy Gregory, he doesn't block him, and Tua no-look passes to him for a touchdown. You can see another view of it, cause they literally ran it again for another touchdown later in the game. This looks exactly like old school Spider 2Y banana, but McDaniel takes the look you think you're seeing and throws an extra little sugar on top of it. Also, look at the Broncos linebackers here. They're less prepared for a weird surprise than Johnny Depp's bedsheets. This game goes beyond an absolute butt kicking. It was historically bad, and it was shocking to watch. The Dolphins averaged a first down per play, which is absolutely crazy, and the Broncos defense looked completely unprepared. This game shows how critical it is to have good coaching who can prep you with a good game plan so you can go out and execute. And it also shows you how important it is to adjust in-game, not just as a coaching staff, but as a player as well. The Miami Dolphins put on a historic performance, and they literally beat down the Broncos. On any given Sunday, anything can happen, and in Week 3 Dolphins vs. Broncos, history was made.